I grew up in a blue-collar family household. Born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri, we were always taught in our household about service. My dad was Robert Allen Carter. What he always said, anytime you walked out of the door, was remember your last name. And what that meant to us was that all you've got is your name. Most importantly, there's an awful lot of other people that have come before you who have paved the way for you to be here. So remember your last name. Law enforcement was actually in the blood because my grandfather was a police officer. I wanted to be a police officer because there was something about law enforcement to me that allowed me to make sure that I was doing my part to protect and serve. I absolutely loved working the road as an Indiana State Trooper. There was a great deal of heartache for me to have to step away from the Indiana State Police. But I also knew that my time as a state trooper was preparing me for my time as an active duty Navy chaplain. But what I have to tell you is that when I answered the call to ministry, I began to pursue that. And I knew that the Lord wanted me in full-time ministry. I just wasn't certain of what capacity. And I got my Master's of Ministries and my Master's of Theological Studies from Bethel College in Mishawaka, Indiana. And during this entire time, I am working as a police officer. When the Navy presented an opportunity or asked me to take active duty orders that sent me to Japan, I had no choice but to say yes, because I really felt like this was the urge or the push that I needed. Our first set of orders sent us to the USS Tortuga, LSD-46.
Chaplain Madison Carter's success on USS Tortuga is greatly due to one thing.
It's called deck plate ministry.
That's a style of leadership where Carter goes to the sailors instead of making them come to him.
During my time on the USS Tortuga was also the same time that there was the earthquake and tsunami off the coast of Japan.
In the wake of the devastating earthquake in Japan, the United States military quickly moved to provide humanitarian assistance.
People literally worked around the clock on that ship to make sure that we were ready to respond to help our partner nation, Japan, during one of their darkest experiences. Additionally, when I got orders to leave the USS Tortuga to head to the United States Naval Academy, I was shocked. Going from the USS Tortuga to the United States Naval Academy, I brought all those experiences along with me because those sailors and the Marines that I met on the Tortuga helped to provide the leadership tools that I needed to go into work with midshipmen. Also, during the time when I was there, I had the privilege of serving with the football team.
Hey guys, listen up!
And there are so many things that they have on the Naval Academy football team that where the tradition has shaped those individuals. And when they talk about brotherhood, they no kidding mean brotherhood.
For the good of the team, I'll fulfill my role. The struggles I embrace, the victories I own. I'm a member of the brotherhood.
And one of the darkest days was when Will McCamey passed away.
Tonight, the Naval Academy is mourning the loss of one of its own and trying to understand what caused a young football star to collapse at practice and die just a few days later.
It was a devastating moment for our team. And when Will passed away, I watched the hurt on the faces of those midshipmen. But what I was so motivated by was what pushed so many of us through was Will himself. Will just had a spirit about him that was so captivating. I was called upon to be the spiritual leader for this football team, for many of the midshipmen, and to guide them through this storm. That's never easy for people to have to go through. We'll always have questions. We'll always want to know, Lord, why? Questioning God often shows a sign of faith because you're expecting God to give you some answers. Because of that, it brought that team so close together.
1, 2, 3, we will! 1, 2, 3, we will! 1, 2, 3, we will! Let's go, man!
So the football team chose to break the huddle with we will.
We will on three, we will on three. 1, 2, 3, we will.
Because they were always understanding that we had to stick together, and understanding that Will was always going to be a part of their lives, because Will is always going to be part of the brotherhood. When I heard that they hung his jersey for the last game of the year, because Will would graduate with that class, and I heard about that story, it, no kidding, stopped me in my tracks, because I thought to myself, how appropriate. Those players never, ever forgot about Will. That is so indicative of serving in the military, because these men and these women who experience some incredibly dark moments always carry with them the legacy of the brother or the sister that's standing beside them, who may not physically be with them, but who may have died paying the ultimate sacrifice. And when you look at the pictures, the patches, the jerseys that are on the wall, you don't donate a patch unless you're proud of that patch. You don't donate a jersey unless you're proud of that jersey. You don't donate a picture unless you're proud of that picture. And you can see that the pictures that are on these walls tell you that there's an awful lot of people who are proud of the relationships that they've developed with the United States military, their local law enforcement, their team, their coach, whatever it may be. Looking at these pictures, and you think to yourself, what an amazing country we're a part of. What I hope people begin to think about when they see a patch, when they see a picture, when they see a jersey, is that there's a story behind all of it. But through every story, there's an aspect of service. At this moment, there is somebody who is carrying out that act of service to give us the freedoms that we hold dear, to allow us to sleep well at night, and to allow us to understand that somebody is standing the watch.